Welcome to another video. Today I'm out on the 2025 Suzuki, nearly said Honda then, Suzuki GSX-S1000GX. Now I've had this bike for quite a while, quite a few months, and on my other channel, my previous channel which has been deleted, I rode this and I said I was really disappointed with it. But I have changed the tyres, so we now have gone from Dunlop Road Sport 2s to Bridgestone T33s. And let me tell you, they are absolutely incredible. They make a huge difference to this bike. So let's go for a ride and I can talk a little bit more about how they feel. Don't forget to subscribe because this is an all new channel. If you remember my old EnglishBikerDan channel, unfortunately it got deleted. I am doing a video about that. So subscribe and support the channel, etc. Oh, I've also got this AOC C6 Pro, which they very kindly sent to me. It does Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I do have to be careful because it is quite slippery here. If you want to get yourself a lovely bit of discount, use the link in the description. A pretty good bit of kit, nice big screen. Even on bright sunny days like today, I can see everything. You've got this little hood as well. It comes with forward and rear facing cameras. You've got tyre pressure monitor sensors. I'm actually powering it via the USB socket on this Suzuki, but you can also connect it up to the battery on your bike so that it just turns on when the bike is on. But I quite like that you can just stick a USB cable in. It's really helpful. Right, but anyway, let's talk about the new Battle Axe tyres. So tyres are a bit of a difficult thing for me to review because, you know, I'm not the kind of rider where I can feel every little thing that a bike is doing. You know, I'm a very normal sort of rider. I just like pootling around. I can get a lick on, you know, sometimes if I want to. But I'm not particularly, you know, I'm not like an ex-racer or anything like that. But I can with confidence say that I felt a massive difference the moment I took this bike out for a spin after putting these Bridgestones on it, because with those Dunlops they just felt like, the only way I can explain it is it felt like you were riding a bike that had underinflated tyres. So the front just felt like it wanted to kind of tuck all the time until the tyres were really warmed up, and it needed quite a lot of riding for those Dunlops to warm up. Whereas as soon as I put these tyres on and went for a spin, that feeling, and I think you know what I mean, is when you're going slow and you kind of turn, if you know your tyres are underinflated, the bars also turn into the direction that you're going. That is completely gone. You know, I can give you some info about the Bridgestone T33s. They're a sport touring tyre. I had the T32s on my Tracer 9 GT. Loved those tyres. Lots of feel, lots of feedback, great in the wet. It's a 3-layer compound, and the difference between the T32 and the T33 is Bridgestone claim you can get up to 47% extra wear or extra life out of the tyres, which is a good improvement. And Bridgestone have worked on their compound and they say it gives you an extra 10% of kind of steering feel. And I actually thought the T32s already gave you a nice amount of feeling, but you know, extra 10%, geez, I'll take it, mate. And even on a day like today, you know, we're in November, it's cold, it's wet, we had biblical rain yesterday, there's plenty of grip and feedback on those wet roads. So yes, I think they are pretty flipping awesome, and they have absolutely transformed the handling of this bike. Like I said, I rode this bike, I had it for about 3 months a year ago. Just didn't get on with it because I felt that those tyres were really letting the whole thing down, and it's such a strange decision for a manufacturer to create a lovely bike and hamper it by subpar tyres. I really wish Suzuki or whoever makes those decisions, you actually think a little bit more about the potential impact that you're having on your bike. And even the launch videos of the GX, when this first launched, everyone kind of said the same thing. It just felt a bit underwhelming. And I spoke to Mr. Lambchops, and he's got a long-termer in. He put some, I can't remember what tyres he put on there, put some different ones on there, and he said, honestly Dan, he said, get new tyres on it mate, it will absolutely transform it. And he loves that bike. I think he's actually buying it off of Suzuki. But yes, transformative is the word. And again, I want to be completely transparent. Bridgestone did send me a set of tyres free of charge, but as with all things that I get sent, I'm under no obligation to say just nice things about them. And they're not paying me, so, you know, while I haven't paid for them myself, I did fit them myself, and let me tell you, did I have a hell of a time doing it. So I got one of those Ramaconda tyre changes, and I thought, how hard could it be? Let me tell you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done, changing a flipping tyre. It was so difficult, in fact, that I actually ended up ripping the front tyre, which I've been told isn't possible just by hand, and I did it. I ripped the front tyre. You could see the cord on the sidewall. Such was the force that I was using to try and get the flipping tyre on. I managed to do the rear tyre, but yeah, that wasn't easy either. So I did actually have to buy a new front tyre, so that cost me an extra 130 quid. So even though, you know, you could argue, okay, Bridgestone did send me a set of tyres, I did still have to buy a new front one. So yeah. So if you think about doing your own tyres, don't. Unless you're really, you know, really an expert at doing it, or got one of those hydraulic presses. But yeah, it was not fun, not a fun experience, and I was absolutely shattered and stressed at the end of it. So yeah, the Suzuki GX is now, 1000GX is now the bike I always wanted it to be and always hoped it could be. It really is just flipping fantastic. And even on these sorts of roads, I find that I've got quite a bit of confidence to, you know, push it around a bit. You do have to be careful, you know, you can't outdo physics. And as I said earlier, it is a bit of a chilly day. Put my heated grips on actually, there we go. It is a bit of a chilly day, but we do have a nice set of rubbers. So, you know, if you've bought one of these Suzuki 1000GX motorcycles, go get yourself a new set of tyres. Don't live with those Race Sport 2s. As I said, they were okay once they got up to temperature, but they really needed a lot of work to get there. And they really hamper the bike, to be honest. And it's got to the point where I can't wait to do a bit more with this bike. You know, we are in November, so it'll probably have to wait till the new year, but every kind of sunny day I love getting out on this thing. The engine on this thing is an absolute peach. It's that K5 Gixxer derived inline 4, about 150 horses. It's beautifully smooth, and it's got semi-active suspension, and it doesn't do a terrible job actually. Now that you've got a decent set of rubber on it, it actually feels quite nice. Yes, I'm very, very impressed with this machine now. Absolutely loving it. Oh yes, what a lovely bike. Even in these horrid conditions, it absolutely handles like a dream. Quite comfortable as well. And because it's a taller bike, you do have a little bit more room over the GT, which is more of a sporty tourer, whereas this is more of a, I think they call them tool rounders, so you've got a little bit more leg room. It's just nice to be out, even though it's cold. Quick shifter as well, which is absolutely lovely, up and down. I find quick shifters on inline 4s always really good. Very smooth, very predictable. Quite a nice throttle response as well. And you get a real boost of power towards the mid-top range of the RPM. It is quite addictive when you can open it up. Obviously I can't down this little road, but yeah, and as I was saying, that sort of underinflated tyre feel from those Dunlops has just gone with these Bridgestones, and that's the most immediate thing I could feel straight away. And instead of that weird wallowy vague feeling, they've been replaced with confidence sure-footedness. Cool, getting all the buzzwords in, aren't we? So yeah, that's really it. Just a little bit of an update on the Suzuki GSX-S1000GX. Good morning, sir. Not sure what that was, Triumph perhaps? I will be doing more stuff on this motorcycle, so don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you're interested in one of these IOTC C6 Pro motorcycle dash cams, you know, it does have a lot of features which I haven't gone into, but I'll stick that in my review video. But yeah, click the link. Like I said, it's not a paid review. However, if you do decide to buy from that link, I do get a bit of commission. Are we going across? Yeah, I do get a little bit of commission, so I just wanted to be upfront with you guys. If I thought it was rubbish, I would also tell you. And it's not. It's actually pretty decent. Nice big screen. And it sort of mitigates the risk if you're worried about your phone being damaged on the handlebars via vibrations, or if you're clumsy like I am, then you know you can just tuck your phone away and it connects to it via Wi-Fi. Okay, thought you might just come out. Sure. You know, so there's pros and cons. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! But right, enough waffle from me. If you go out today, don't forget to ride safe but have fun. Otherwise, what is the point? And until next time, you take care. And peace. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. Have a good day.